Friends, welcome to follow up. In this video, let's do a very simple exercise that is problem 3028 and on the boundary. So in this video, we're going to solve this problem in two formats. One is we just use a for loop. Another one is that we want to connect this problem with prefix sum. With that said, let's first look at the problem digest. So here an ant is on a boundary. It sometimes goes left and sometimes goes right. So here we are given an array of non-zero integers, nums. So here non-zeros, right? So the ant starts reading nums from the first element of it to its end, right? So this ant is an intelligent one, right? And each step, it moves according to the value of the current element. If it's negative, it's going to move to the left by the absolute value, nums I unit, right? If it's greater than 0, it moves towards the right, this number of units, right? So return the number of times that the ant returns to the boundary, in other words. So we can start with 0, right, and as the boundary. So here there is an infinite space on both sides of the boundary, and we check whether the ant is on the boundary only after it has moved this number of units, right? So actually for this problem, so we don't need to distinguish direction, right? So we can regard if you meet the ant meets a negative number, we just add that number, meaning towards the left, it means subtract. You can think of the think of this thing as a number axis, right? So if the ant meets a positive number, then just add that number. So for this example, you first move to the right 2 units, right 3 units, then left to negative 5 units, then you get 0, so once, right? For this one, so at 0, move to the left, right 3 and 2 times, so you have 5. Then move to the left 3, you have 2. Then move to the left 4, is negative 6, so 0, right? So this problem has a small size, right? So now let's directly do the coding. So for the first one, it's just a for loop. This is very simple. So what we are going to do, the result is a counting variable. We count the number of times this ant reaches the starting point. And then position is initially, let's see, at 0, right? So now we just do a for loop for y in nums. We don't care about the sign, right? We just say increment position by y. If y is negative, means that we move to the left. It means minus, right? Minus a positive number. And then if y is positive, it means that we move towards the right. Then we add a positive number, right? So then just check if position equals 0, right? So this is after the movement, right? So it's corresponding to this one. And then we are going to increment the result by 1, right? After we do the check, we just return the state of this result. Let's test the case. Yeah, it passes all the cases. So if you look at this code, actually what we are retrieving is nothing but the prefix sum, right? Because the numbers can be positive, can be negative. So the prefix sum can be 0, right? And then we just need to count how many zeros in the prefix sum. So in this case, we can copy this part, and then we write another solution. Let's call it prefix sum. I would say because I have background in mathematics, so we could maybe call it partial sum. Right? This is much precise. So if you have a string, maybe you can call it prefix. Right? So here we can do it in place. Right? So num0 will be remain fixed. Then for I in range, so 1 up to length nums. So this will begin end at n-1, where n is the length, right? So then nums I will be incremented by the nums I minus 1. So after this modification, we know this nums actually is a prefix sum of the original nums. But this way, if we do it in place, we modified the argument. because this is passed by reference, so we modified the list itself, but it's still enough for us to get this problem. So because the list have a method called count, so you count 0. So this is the return, so we can do the test. Yeah, it passes all the cases. But if you do not know this method for list, then you can do a for loop and check if that number is 0. If so, you just need to return. For example, let me copy this one, comment this one. It will just return sum 1 for y in nums if y equals 0. This will be the same. But I just use the comprehension format, right? So, or you can regard this one as an iterator, but all will be the same. So with that said, I guess that's basically about it for this direct practice. So thank you for watching.